And we're back to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Sometimes I forget I'm playing Sapphire and not Ruby. I played Ruby in the original, that's part of why Wait a minute, we're getting stopped again? Oh, hi, May. Oh, what's this? Our Pokenav Plus has been upgraded. DexNav, the thing that I'm not allowed to use. Yeah, DexNav is completely banned for my purposes. It tells you lots about the Pokemon living in each area. Ergo, I'm not allowed to use it. The whole point of this is I'm not supposed to know what Pokemon I'm going to catch next. And of course, I'm not allowed to use a lot of different Pokemon as well. Yes, I'm definitely going to do a bit of catching. Bye, May. Speaking of which, how many Pokeballs did I get? Wrong button. I'm not used to the layout here. Okay, there we go. Bag... I called it, it's 10. Perfect. Now let's just check out the Pokedex. Okay, that is very cool, and I do like the fact that it's shaped like a Game Boy Advance. Okay, that's kind of cool. So on the bottom screen, you get an interface that's very similar to the original games. This is nice, I like this. Very, very nice. It's much faster to scroll, though, too, which is a very much needed addition. On the top screen, we get some Pokemon sprites, showing us every Pokemon that we've seen. That's interesting. This Pokedex is pretty cool. I still don't know why the X and Y Pokedex was styled after an iPhone when, yeah, it's not like a Nintendo handheld device like everything else is being styled after. Okay, let's see what my encounter might be for this route. Gender permitting. If this thing is male, I can't catch it. If it is female, I must catch it. So, will my Trico end up paired with a Poochyena? Yes, it will! Unless I knock this out accidentally, which I probably don't want to do. Okay, for the sake of things, I'm just going to go ahead and chuck a ball right now, just to see if I can actually catch this thing. 1, 2, 3... There we go, yeah. Okay, was there ever any doubt? So, my encounter here was a Poochyena. And I still get experience, which is a new addition, starting with Generation 6. Poochyena has been added. And the data is on the... Oh wait, it's not on the bottom screen, okay. Here's the data on the bottom screen. I can rotate and zoom this? That's cool. I can hear its cry. I can... What's this button do? Make it do things. That's really cool. And I can read it up on the top screen. Poochyena is an omnivore. It will eat anything. Ugh. A distinguishing feature is how large its fangs are compared to its body. Yeah, this is the kind of thing Professor Birch was studying out in the field alone with nothing to protect him. That really says much for his intelligence. Oh right, I have to nickname this thing. Okay, yes, I do, and I'll be right back when I've thought of a good musical instrument nickname. Okay, I've decided that I'm going to name her... Clarinet, because it actually does sound kind of feminine. So being my first female Pokemon, yeah, I guess I can kind of call it that. So, we now have our first pair. Trumpeter and... Wait. Trumpeter and Clarinet. Who's gonna have to be babied a lot. Let's just check this Poochyena out. Okay, Hasty is definitely not bad. Definitely not bad. Oh, and Quick Feet. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so... Oh, this means that Mightyena won't have Intimidate, though, which... I like Intimidate. Anyway, though... That's, pretty cool. See her bite things, see her bite things more, see her howl. She might be a pretty decent member of the team. Now, I believe if you're using DexNav to sneak up on Pokemon, it's possible to get a Poochyena that starts with something like Thunderfang, which would be much more useful for my purposes, except that I'm not allowed to do that. So, no, I have to content with vanilla Poochyenas. But anyway, it is time for some grinding. Joy. But first, oh, hi, May. Oh, I'm guessing that we're going to have sneaking explained here? Yeah, another Poochyena. I hope this isn't the friend or family of the Poochyena I just caught. This is a completely new mechanic, so if you check your Dex nav... Oh yeah, it probably should have something like Thunderfang. Yeah, sneak up real slowly before it realizes what's happening. And then destroy it, because I'm not allowed to catch another Poochyena due to Dupe's Claws. Lightly on the circle pad. That's what it said in the fourth wall breaking book that you read. What happens if you let this thing run away? Also, the Dex nav is going off, so I wonder if that... Yeah, it shows a area here, and I can see the Poochyena. Scanning. Oh, moving more slowly, okay. Very slowly. Okay, Thunderfang, Quick Feet, level 5. That's kind of high. Thankfully, though, my Trico resists Thunderfangs. This shouldn't be too bad. And thankfully it doesn't have anything stupid like Pursuit or something, which would be really terrible in a situation like this. Thunderfang is certainly a big step up from, like, Tackle, though, so this may be somewhat... Thankfully, though, Trico resists this. Wow, boy do I resist that. And I can pretty much regain my health with Absorb. This is why Grass Starters are really useful in a limited Pokemon Center challenge, because they save on healing. Oh, that's not a good idea. That's bad. That's very, very bad. Your attack is rising. Oh, that did more damage, basically. But you're confident to just howl all day. The thing is female, so technically speaking, I could have called this as my first encounter, but nah, I'm stuck with regular Poochyenas. Please tell me that Clarinet gets experience. Yes, she does. Please level up a lot. Only 3. Oh. Are you going to be angry at me that I fainted that thing? Yeah, I sometimes do too, due to the circle pad and me not being used to sort of broken also. Okay, so now it's like, I'm just looking at this because I've never tried this before. I'm not actually going to use this anymore, but I guess I can try this out. I can search level 4, Poochyena, type dark. I can click Pokedex here, and I'm guessing this will send me straight to Poochyena's Pokedex entry. Yes, it will. That's pretty cool. And if I press the search button... What does this do? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, I can trigger these at will, it seems. Let's see, though. This might be good for training purposes, though, considering that these are... Okay, no Thunderfang and only level 2. So it looks like... Yeah, and you missed me sneaking there. It looks like the egg move versions are kind of rare. Also, you want to know something that I thought up that I think is pretty cool, personally? While Pokemon with egg moves, it kind of makes sense that would happen. After all the breeding rejects that people breed for egg moves have to be released to somewhere, right? You know, it makes perfect sense that they'd end up in the wild. So, basically, Trumpeter has to basically play Jagan to poor Clarinet here. But definitely getting much better at it. So, my general idea here is I can't go to Route 103 yet, because that'll mean that the next Pokemon that I find I must catch. If you're not familiar with Wedlock rules, I now have... Oh, hey, Hal, that should be useful. I now have 1 complete pair. This means my next Pokemon can be of either gender. And my search level is now 5, so I'm guessing the more that you search, the rarer the things that show up. Oh, okay, I think it starts blinking when you might be scaring it away. Okay, that one is potential 1-star, apparently. You can't see it because I'm not recording the bottom tray at the moment. But yeah, you can also check out IVs of the random Pokemon in the wild. I like this system. It's actually going to make wild Pokemon catching a lot more fun than before. Let's see if Clarinet can prove herself. That was a critical hit, really? I mean, I thought they did slightly more damage than I expected, but still. The annoying thing about Poochyena as compared to Zigzagoon is no stab on normal moves. So no stab on tackle. At least tackle doesn't have the accuracy issues it used to. Believe me, when I was trying out a test for... That was another critical hit, wasn't it? Wow! Yeah, my luck is horrible. Anyway, when I was trying out test runs, it was on Pokemon Platinum, and yeah, tackle's accuracy became a serious problem very, very quickly. My search level is now at 6, so I'm guessing, yeah, the more you search for a specific Pokemon, the more likely it is to, let's go ahead and heal. The more likely it is to have better moves or better stats or stuff. I don't know, but I like this addition. DexNav is pretty cool. Gonna switch to the map for the moment. Having a map on the bottom screen is actually a pretty cool thing too. I still like that. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now, I may just do a tiny bit of grinding to get Clarinet up to a level where she can be decent. Her low defense due to that nature might not help, but... So... I'll be right back. So, after a bit of training, Clarinet is now level 6. Hopefully that's okay. I get the feeling trainers on the next route are going to start using levels like in the 7s and stuff, but of course, seeing as they're trainers, that means that the experience yields are going to be bigger as well, so she'll catch up a bit faster. The real question is, do I use a potion on her or not? I do have 9 potions, but I'm just worried I need to conserve those because I can't buy them, and I kind of want to conserve Mum's heal. Because I know that when I get my next pair, well, things are not going to be as smooth. Especially if one of them happens to be a Routes. Speaking of which, that is the reason why I'm going to actually go to... Why is there a Pikachu on Oldale Town? Oh, right, maybe because nothing can be found here. That's on the bottom screen, by the way. I'm actually going to go ahead and head to this route first. Oh, hey, and it's not a direct, it's a, transition rather than actually directly connected now. Interesting. Like I said, disappointment. Anyway, I'm going this way first, and the reason is going to become kind of clear once I get there. People who played the... Hi, Wingull. Wow, that's cool. People who played the original Ruby and Sapphire will know this route quite well. This is the route where, in addition to... That would be a Zigzagoon. I'm not interested, sorry. In addition to... I'm not allowed to go for those things as my first encounter, by the way, just saying. Actually, no, wait, that's a... Zigzagoon and Poochyena's cries are so similar. Anyway, I think that's a Zigzagoon. Let me check. My scanner says... Zigzagoon. And it has Charm as an egg move. Guess what? I'm gonna scare it away! Bye, Zigzagoon! Yeah, I am not allowed to go after those as my first encounter because that defeats the purpose of not knowing what your first encounter will be. Speaking of which, Routes can show up here. It's extremely rare, but it can show up here. I remember in the original games when they first came out, there was actually a rumor going around that Routes' like... The chance of finding a Routes was directly tied to how much your starter liked you. That is, I don't think that's true in the slightest. It's an interpretation of its Pokedex entry, but I don't think that's true in the slightest. I ended up finding a Routes quite early in my first playthrough of Ruby version. In fact, a Gardevoir ended up being a mainstay of my team. Gardevoir was 1/3 of what I like to call my, I don't have a name for them, but they were certainly a trio back in my original games. Gardevoir, Shiftry, and Walrein. They were 3 Pokemon on my main team, and they still kind of hold sentimental value to me to this day. Especially, like, in Pokemon XD, I actually recreated the Gardevoir, Shiftry, Walrein trio out of Shadow Pokemon. There were some of the first Pokemon where, you know, in the original games, you didn't really do much except train your starter a lot. And Ruby and Sapphire were... I see you there, youngster. Ruby and Sapphire were the first games where I really was smart enough to actually raise a balanced team. And so those 3 were some Pokemon who were with me for a while, and they were the first trio I ever brought to the Battle Tower as well. They served me pretty well, so I quite like those Pokemon. Those 3 are some of my favourite Gen 3 Pokemon now, purely based on that. But the reason why I've gone here is, if a Route shows up, I can catch it regardless of what gender it is, because I don't have the gender restrictions at this point. If I had caught something on Route 103 and it was a different gender, it would just be the worst thing ever to have a route suddenly show up and I'd be unable to catch it because it's the wrong gender. Now, a route probably isn't going to show up, but just in case. I've got Clarinet at the front of the party just so she gets some experience for the catch. Here we go. Encounter for Route 103. Whatever it is, as long as it's not a Poochyena, I get to catch it. Had a feeling it'd be a Zigzagoon. Yeah, no routes for me. That's a bit disappointing, but oh well. Actually, that's very disappointing, but again, oh well. Time to just chuck a Pokeball. Hopefully this will catch. So, yeah, no routes, no Lotad. I mean, nothing really interesting for me, just early game derps. Then again, Zigzagoons do have a tendency to be pretty awesome. Zigzagoon is probably my favourite early game normal type, and it's just very cool. Please have pickup, please have pickup, please have pickup, please have pickup, please have pickup. If this thing has pickup, actually I'm not sure how pickup was going to work in this challenge, because it could be a bit overpowered. I'm not so sure actually. The hairs on Zigzagoon's back is... the hair on Zigzagoon's back is bristly. Goes against trees to leave territorial markings. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of echidnas in Australia, which are literally nowhere outside of like the desert. We only see them in zoos, but they're the kind of thing who you can pat them perfectly fine so long as you stroke them in the right direction. If you stroke the spines the wrong way, though, that's going to be very painful. But weird non sequiturs about Australian wildlife anyway. Let's go ahead and name Zigzagoon. Now I need a musical instrument. Actually, I just thought, I mean, it sounds like a Z, and I guess it's not really that bad. Let me just go ahead and check my list if that's the right spelling. Let's see. Xylophone. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Again, provided this doesn't get censored. Hopefully it won't get censored. Okay, good, didn't get censored. So, we have ourselves Xylophone, the female Zigzagoon, which means my next catch must be male. Gluttony, no pickup. Okay, and it... Brave's not that bad, but lowering speed is kind of an issue. I was about to say you can make up for that with extreme speed, but only event Zigzagoons get extreme speed, but oh well. Gluttony at least kind of means that I don't have to worry about pickup issues. I probably would have ended up banning pickup anyway. Now here's the problem. You'll notice here that Xylophone here doesn't have a partner. That makes her what the Wedlock rules like to call a lone wolf. If she is ever used in battle, it must be just her. No switching to any other Pokemon at all. She has to solo the whole battle. This is bad, so we would need to get her a partner pretty quickly. And for that, we're going to go and get one on Route 103. Now we can use the Route 103 encounter. I'm still a bit sad that I didn't get routes though. Gardevoir is such a good Pokemon, especially now that it has a Fairy typing. Fairy Psychic is such a good type combination. Just seriously, such a fantastic type combo. I don't even know what the chances are of actually finding routes. I think it's very low, like maybe 5% or lower. Okay, right. This does not count, because I already have a Zigzagoon, so no catchy for me. Really? I can't run from something half my level? Really? You know, I probably should have knocked that out for experience, but oh well. Next encounter! Now, considering that I can't get Poochyena or I can't get Zigzagoon, it was going to be a Wurmple or a Wingull here. I would quite like Wingull. It'd give me a water type on my team, and it might give me a flyer for later. Wingull would definitely be somewhat appreciated game, but I may get a Wurmple. Wurmple is actually interesting. If I do catch one, I'd like to talk a little bit about how it affects Dupe's Claws, because Wurmple's a bit weird in that you don't know what it's going to evolve into. Like, you literally have no way of telling what it's going to evolve into. So if you catch a Wurmple and it later evolves into Cascoon, let's say, what if you run into a Silcoon in the wild later? Does that count as a duplicate because it's part of the same evolution line as Wurmple? Or does it not? Personally, I'm going to say no. If I catch a Wurmple, I can't, of course, catch another Wurmple. That's banned. But if I find the other cocoon that I don't have, I count that as a separate thing. Similarly, if I end up finding a Dustox or a Beautifly in the wild later, and it's one that's not the evolution of Wurmple that I have, I'm allowed to catch that too. But, yes, Wurmple itself, I'm not allowed to catch multiple Wurmples, because for all I know, they'll evolve into the same thing. Wurmple's such a weird Pokemon, I really don't know why I'm gonna, do that. I mean, Beautifly and Dustox are pretty bad Pokemon regardless, but, I mean, training up a competitive one would be pretty interesting. I just don't want to breed one because of the pain it is to breed because both Pokemon require vastly different movesets and spreads of IVs. If I end up breeding for, a Dustox and my Silcoon, my Wurmple evolves into Silcoon, I'm like, dang it. Yeah, that would be very frustrating, so honestly, I really think that breeding a competitive Dustox or Beautifly is just way more trouble than it's worth. Come on, give me something I can actually catch! I mean, the weird thing is that if a Wingull does show up and it's the wrong gender, I'll have to keep searching. Here's the other thing. I could purposefully save this encounter. And, let's say, try looking for a partner on Route 104, would it be? 104, I think, maybe? But that runs a few risks, and it means that Xylophone has to be stuck as a lone wolf for a while, and a lone wolf being level 3, you have no idea how painful it is to train a lone wolf unless you played a wedlock yourself. It's just really, you pretty much just don't bother at all. Unless you have the experience share. Lots of experience, but nothing I can catch. Yeah, Zizgoon and Poochyena are all I can see on the dex nav here, but I did see Wingull before, so Wingull can show up here. I just have to get lucky enough for it to appear. Please tell me it's not like a 1% chance or something. That'd be really stupid. I actually don't think that you can even find Wurmples here, by the way, but... Anyway, I might eventually just go ahead and cut to a Pokemon I can actually catch, because this is really, really boring. Really boring. This kind of happens in early game routes with first encounter rules. You kind of, you get stuck having to go through things for ages. Oh yeah, by the way, normally some people impose a Dupe's Clause limit, so I would effectively have forfeited my encounter on this route by now. I generally don't like doing that because it's a bit too harshly punishing on bad luck, really. For all I know, I don't think Wingull is that rare, it just hasn't decided to show up yet. Yay for unnecessary criticals. Trumpeter, you're really getting ahead of everyone, you should probably stop soon. Clarinet's not even leveled up. Okay, cut to finding something useful. And of course, Wingull shows up the very next encounter. It's gonna be, yeah, it's male, I can catch it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, that would have been very annoying if this was female, but yeah. Yeah, I say cut to next encounter, and, cut to next encounter I can actually catch, and it's the very next thing that shows up. Wow. Anyway, please catch. No, you didn't. Oh, you have Water Gun this early? That's actually very nice. I like that. I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to Trumpeter here because he's resistant to Water Gun. Anyway. Growl. Yeah, please. Oh, wait, I might knock this thing out. Don't be it. Please tell me that wasn't a critical. It wasn't. I get nothing this route. All that for nothing! Excellent! Well, as they say, everything happens for a reason. Hopefully that means that Xylophone's going to be getting a better partner later. Because that was very, very annoying. Looks like I'm going to have to be stuck with a Pokemon that I effectively can't use for a little while. I'm going into trainer battles right now, and I've still got 2 healing points I haven't used yet. So, I'm going to go ahead and potion my Clarinet. I like the new youngster encounter theme, it's pretty cool. Yes, but thou must. We can't say no to this. Let's go. Now, speaking of things I like about youngsters in this generation, I like their artwork. They no longer look evil like they did in Generation 6. Seriously, those youngsters were just evil. Zigzagoon. I remember youngster Calvin, though. What? It's 4. Okay, so it's not 5. I would switch out, but I don't want, you know, Trumpeter getting too over-leveled. And that tackle is stabbed, so yeah. I remember there being a bug catcher on this route with a lot of, bug Pokemon, a lot of really annoying low-level Wurmples, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm still going to be KOing this thing pretty quickly. My PP for tackle's actually gone down by almost 10. You really have to keep an eye on your PP in this challenge, as I keep saying. Well, that was much easier than I expected. This is going to give me a lot more experience than I would have expected. Level 7. Sand Attack. Once Clarinet learns Bite, then we'll be in business. But until then, yeah. Yeah, you probably should have trained more. I was worried that I'd need to train more, but I didn't. Yeah, well, I thought you were stronger. I thought you were at least level 5. And that would be a... That sounds like a Lotad to me. Sounds like a Lotad? Let's see. Or a... It sounds like a Mudkip to me. Yes, it is a Lotad, and... Oh, sadly, I can't catch that. I would have liked a Lotad, trust me, I really would have liked one, but, not getting one. But, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to this bug catcher. And I didn't meet, I talked to you from the side. And yes, bug catchers are finally back after being absent from several generations. They look pretty cool. I do like how a lot of the trainers look at, and only one Wurmple. Okay. I thought he had... That might have been Emerald. I'm used to the trainers from Emerald, mainly due to watching a lot of Emerald playthroughs and playing a lot of Emerald myself, so... Some of these trainers might be weaker than I expected. Emerald did make the trainer difficulty a lot higher than it was in the original games, especially the gym leaders. So... Nice one, Clarinet. Excellent. So, yeah, I vaguely remember someone with, like, 3 Wurmples, but, yeah, that might just be an Emerald thing. Kind of wish that maybe they'd included the Emerald trainers in this game as sort of like a, challenge mode, but anyway. Really wish they'd gone with the Emerald gym leaders, though, especially for Watson, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, and if you talk to a trainer from the side, they have to challenge you. Haha, see what I did there? Oh, there's a youngster here. Hi, youngster. And you're not a trainer. I'm not interested. That is a... What? That sounded like a Surskit. Let me check the Dex... Yeah, a lot of checking the Dex nav here. Where are you? Yeah, it is a Surskit. Okay. So my guess is that Dex nav actually replaces the swarms from the earlier game. Normally Surskit is like a 1% encounter here, but I guess it can show up with Dex nav. Ah, these guys are pretty cool. I remember that guy. Yeah, classic lines. Wow, berry trees look minuscule in this game. And you have a very long sight range. Yes, we are both beginners, but I have a feeling that you are more beginner than me. 2 Pokemon. Why do I get the feeling that one of them's a Wurmple? Or either that or it's a Poochyena and Zigzagoon, maybe. I don't know. But you may have a Poochyena, but I have Clarinet, the greatest Poochyena who ever lived. Hopefully. She aspires to be that, at least. Hear her howl of mightiness, and cower before her mighty might, based on her... I forgot her nature. I think... Actually, no, her mighty... Wait, speed nature? I forget. Okay, Clarinet is starting to hurt a little bit, so I might need to potion soon. Either that or use a heal point, but goodbye, Poochyena. Good thing about the attack boost from Howl is that it'll carry over right into the next Pokemon, unlike things like Growl or Tail Whip. Tailo! Okay, I didn't remember you having a Tailo. Then not until the next route, and Tailo looks surprisingly big in this... Only level... Wait, your first Pokemon is like level 4, your second is level 2? I think you'd better get your priorities sorted. You probably should have set that out first. With a level 2 Tailo, I really don't think you could beat me. Aw, poor guy. Always the fate of early game youngsters, to be beaten constantly by really overpowered people. But here are some berries, and they look really tiny. 2 berries. Oh, they're not actually going to ask you if you're going to want to pick the berries. You just pick them. Return to its soft loamy soil, picking 2 peach berries. And the soil is ready to be planted again. Too bad that Hoenn is suffering from a horrible drought at the moment and crops won't grow. So, no planting berries for me. I'm allowed to pick berries, but replanting them is illegal in this challenge. That leads to Petalburg City. And there is a lass who very nearly got me there. Well, I guess I just barely got her. Oh, wait a minute, I think I remember this. Aroma ladies previously used this, and judging by the demo, they now use the swimmer theme. Interesting. You're thinking of being the best trainer. Let's see how that works out for you. Lasses look pretty cool in this game, though. 1 Zigzagoon. Your prospects aren't looking very good there. Just saying. Okay, you're the one with level 5, and I might want to switch out because I don't want to faint. As much as I don't like using Trumpeter because he's overpowered. But I would rather not be out against level 5 Ziggy. Yes, I just called your Pokemon as Ziggy. What are you going to do about that? I'm going to steal your HP. And lose it again. And now, in the words of Higashizawa, I'll pound you! Probably the least grown-worthy of the cooking puns that he has. Level 8, nice, still no bite though. Yes, you did, with that level up. Thanks for that, by the way. I think I remember that she had a Shroomish and Emerald, I think. Over there is May. She is showing up an awful lot in this game, a lot more than she used to. Pretty good. Sucks that I lost one of my encounters, but oh well. I have been, but I'm not allowed to use it, so yeah. That's cool. There seems to be something here. Oh, are these the Beautiflies? Hi, Beautifly, you have terrible stats, for the most part. Beautiflies flying into Petalburg City may or may not be a nod to the anime. Yes, they were Beautifly, or Beautiful, or whatever. I wonder if that actually gets them registered in your Dex nav. You weren't with me for most of the time here, but I guess that's kind of true. Yes, he is. I feel very sorry for you when you go up against him. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that now. See you, mate. Okay, something just happened on the Dex nav. It's flashing blue. Okay, so we can now search for Beautifly, it seems. That is actually very cool. I do like that. I wonder if, like, seeing a Pokemon in a book or something lets you search for it on Dex nav, kind of like in Diamond and Pearl. Still, I'm not allowed to do this. But that does beg an interesting question. Excellent, another potion. These are really going to come in handy. I'm going to need as many of these as I can get. Let's see what my experience is looking like. Yeah, poor Xylophone. I'm going to train her soon, don't worry. Alright, level... Yeah, I'm actually quite far off leveling up. I think I can safely move on to the next town. Haven't actually had to use a heal point yet at all. So, anyway. But, I guess next time we'll be going to Petalburg City. So, I guess I'll see you then.